Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Water Academy. Today we're going to make waves with Jordan Ovadia, which is a clinical nutritionist and has an MSc in nutrition. He's not only a lecturer, but also a content creator and, of course, above all, a dedicated Water.io user. So Jordan, how are you today?
I'm pretty great. It's a bit hot today.
It is.
Important to drink water, but I think I chugged like 3 of those today by now. But yeah, it's a good day.
Amazing.
Okay. Before we do anything, we have a tradition.
All right.
That before we start, we put everyone on the spot and we tilt our bottles to see if we're
He's going to embarrass me.
After my what I said right now.
That's his hobby.
Okay, I need to prove myself. Let's do that.
Okay, you go.
Okay. Battery low.
Battery low.
Means I'm using the bottle.
You're saved. I'm green, actually, for the first time, guys. It's like the 8th episode,
Wow,
and I'm green for the first time. So yeah, something to be proud of.
Here, it's like when you're driving on the highway and you go through with the lights and it's all green.
Yeah,
so that's what you have here, except the low battery.
Such a feeling.
I have a troubled traffic light right now, and have to decide what you want to do.
But I'm cheating with coffee, so I'm gonna get a fee after that.
Okay, so let's get down to business. First of all, I just have to say that when you gave the introduction, I was thinking, wow, it was not so long ago that we just started this podcast and we didn't really know where what we're gonna do and where this is heading. And it's really exciting. Like we had so many amazing guests and inspiring stories. And we're looking forward to hear from Jordan today. So Jordan, could you share your journey, how you became a clinical dietitian, and how your education shaped your approach to nutrition in general?
Yeah, so that's not really, it's not a long story, but it's a pretty straightforward one. I was always into sports, gym, running, you name it. And my friend once told me, he was just got out of the army, and he told me, you gotta find a job that demands you to keep in shape, because otherwise you're gonna get a belly and you're gonna get fat like everyone else. So I did what everyone would do. I said, okay, I spend a lot of time in the gym, so I might as well just study fitness. I'll study to be a personal trainer. That's what I want to do in Wingate Institute. It's a hard word.
Yeah, it is.
So
it makes a lot of sense, by the way. I had that thought run through my head a lot of times, like maybe I should just be a fitness instructor. Not that I have anything to do with it today, and I never studied it, but it makes a lot of sense because you work out and you stay healthy.
You gotta do that. If you want to succeed in this business, you gotta be you set an example. You're gonna be in the gym all the day, so you might as well just get a workout done. So that's what I thought, but along the way, I discovered, it's a part of the syllabus, of course, I discovered the world of nutrition and was very eye-opening, I might say. I remember saying that I feel like I got a instruction book that guides me through my body. Things that I never knew that was working over there like that. So I decided that I want to know more about that. I got 30 hours, academic hours in nutrition, which is nothing. And then I thought, I need to know more. And then I decided to work just a little bit, save some money, go to a vacation and come back and settle with things I want to learn. And then I went out to study in Tel Chai College, which is now Tel Chai University.
University, right.
Which is not very active right now, unfortunately, but hoping it will work again soon.
Yeah.
And then I went to study my first degree, my bachelor's degree in nutrition. The thing that surprised me most is that when I actually do care about the material I'm studying, I can succeed, which is, I had 3 units in math in high school, and then I got A's, which means hundreds, and I was in top of my class in physics and thermodynamics and very complex stuff. And then I realized that that's not enough for me. I need to know more. It's gonna sound like a cliche, but I wanted to contribute something to the world of science once I'm gone. that's what I wanted to do. So I needed to go on the route to go study my master's degree and find someone who can help me perform a clinical study, which I did. His name is Itzik Weinstein, and his wife is one of the top nutritionists in Israel, which is her name is Ayelet Weinstein. She's insane. Okay, she knows so much. I learned so much from her, and then when I finished my master's degree, I realized that there's an endless knowledge about nutrition. Although you do stumble across some cases when you have your question and you get no answers. So I realized that there's more to learn, of course.
Let me stop you for a second. So first of all, about cliches, feel free. We're all about cliches. Our mission in life in general is we want to make people all over the world healthier and happier, and that's our motto day and night. We keep repeating that. So it sounds like a cliche, but hey, I mean, we mean good. So it sounds like a cliche. So what?
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask about. You said it was eye-opening.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really good point. Maybe if you could think of like what surprised you so much, because maybe the average person that might be listening to this podcast right now is also in that same point. So if you remember like any of those things that was like, whoa, I don't believe this is true about the human body.
Yeah. So 1 second, I got my
Go ahead.
notification. Low battery, but the notifications are working.
Yeah.
So I think the most eye-opening thing I learned in Wingate, which was the start of my journey here, was how proteins are constructed in the body. They are transcribed from our DNA, which is just a long code of special nucleotides, and the code is so similar in so many places, but can create so many different proteins. And once you have one bug in the code, which is called a SNP mutation, which is just one letter, you can call it a letter or number, one molecule difference can destroy the production or the activity of certain protein, which can be an enzyme, which could be an hormone. That's insane for me to know that.
So what does that mean? I'm confused.
Okay, so let's take an example. Okay, there's a very common mutation we have in our world, which is called celiac disease. Celiac disease is when people cannot digest gluten. They find it like an antigen. They find it like it's something foreign for their body. They react to it. It's like a virus for them in their intestines. So that's a SNP mutation. That's some kind of SNP mutation, which means it's only one letter. If you think about it, it's like a long code of 4 different letters organized in different ways, in infinite different ways. That seems like that. And when you have one mistake,
so that causes
that can cause a serious disease. It can cause something that's pretty benign, and that can be something life-changing. Yeah.
Wow. Actually, the way you simplify it leads me to another topic. You're a content creator in the field of health and wellness and nutrition. What inspired you to start creating content in this world of content on TikTok and Instagram?
I think. Once I became a lecturer, now I lecture and I give classes, I saw the reaction from people when I tell them something like I told you right now. The reaction was like eye-opening for them, or they were like genuinely surprised with a little bit of knowledge I gave them right now. And it made me feel good about myself, about whatever. I'm honest. It made me feel good to be the one that gives that kind of information to other people. Then I realized I can't keep doing it on that small scale. I have to scale it up a little bit. And you can say that the thing that pushed me over the edge with this and to take it seriously in content creation was seeing so much misinformation online. People kept asking me about, did you see that video where people say that oatmeal is insane, it can ruin your gut, it's not healthy? And I always get upset and angry about that stuff. And then I had to explain, and I'm not, as you can see, I'm not the one who can like give you a short answer. I have to elaborate because I know the nuance that has to go inside. And so I thought I might as well just make a video that visualize the things that I want to show and say, and maybe even give some contents with some studies, recent studies that show that supports the things that I say, and people will be convinced more, and people will like, it will be.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that social media changed the way people approach nutrition in general?
Yeah, I would say that for sure. There's a lot of health influencer that they spread so much misinformation that it creates, once you have a lot of following and you got this huge stage when you can perform and say whatever you want and people will follow you blindly,
so people think it's reliable. Doesn't matter if it's true or not.
I must say, even if you watch one of my own videos, I always suggest you go see and read the studies by yourself. Don't count on me. It's not my opinion, but it's my interpretation of the study, of the results. Never trust the people, especially online. You don't know their certifications, you don't know what they learned, their studies, and people don't have to show that online, and they can be very convincing with good editing, not even good editing, sometimes it's just crap. But but it can create a lot of trends, and trends could be dangerous. And even in nutrition, and people unfortunately follow blindly with even people that has clinical complications like diabetes and blood pressure and obesity. You see what happens with the GLP-1 receptor agonist, like the Ozempic and Wegovy. People, like a lot of influencer that wasn't supposed to get this drug, got it anyway and recommended to their followers, which were usually small childs, like teenagers that use that, and it can ruin your life sometimes if you don't use it correctly. So I think it's important to see that.
We're from Water.io, of course, and we care about hydration. So as a nutritionist, I wanted to ask you, why is staying hydrated so crucial for overall health and wellness?
So it's a really broad question. I'll try to narrow it down for people who listen. Hydration is key for practically everything you do.
Yeah.
It starts with your thinking, decision making. It can end with your activation of skeletal muscles to do the action that you're planning on doing. Hydration is key because once you're a little bit dehydrated, which is very easy to get to, especially here in this climate and the climate change we're experiencing right now, it's very easy to get dehydrated. And even 1%, 2% dehydrated from the state that you're supposed to be in the homeostasis can affect your, as I said, thinking, performance in sports, even making rational decisions sometimes. And our life is full of small and big decisions that we make every single day. So I think hydration is something that you have to keep in the back of your mind, but do it actively. Thinking about it is not enough. You have to act on it. You have to drink. You have to keep drinking. And people tend to skip on the water they have to consume every meal between meals. And, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Overlooked. People forget about it. It's like people take it for granted, but
we all do.
Yeah, we all do, and we end up just drinking endless cups of coffee and soda and whatever, and just
like myself right now.
We're all drinking coffee here.
But the good thing is to keep your water next to your coffee. That's the key.
Not to replace the coffee with water, but to drink it along with the coffee.
People don't know that coffee doesn't hydrate you as well as water does.
True.
Because it's very concentrated. It pulls water from the insides of your body to your intestine because of the difference in concentration between the chambers in your body, I would say. And it's called osmosis. Skip that, okay?
Even us at Water.io, if you add like manually a cup of coffee you've drank, it's gonna raise your daily goal. Because it's
gonna raise your daily goal. But I seen that it's actually adding like to your water consumption at this day. But it's not the same as like when I tap the app and to insert the cup of coffee I drank. It asks me, did you drink a big cup or a small cup, like 180 milliliters or 240, something like that. Even if you put 180 or 240, it never adds the 240 milliliters because it knows, as it should, that
it's water after all.
It's water, but it doesn't replenish the water that you're actually losing each moment, the same as a cup of water will do.
Yeah.
But it's still still good. It's caffeine.
I noticed something recently about myself. I'm kind of in a catch here. Maybe you can help me as a professional nutritionist. At night, so I have two opposite problems. The first, I need to get up and pee, and that's a pain. It's a pain in the ass, right? You have to get up.
It disturbs your sleep.
Yeah, it disturbs my sleep.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, I wake up with a like dry mouth. So dry, it's like
I can relate.
You know the phrase "cotton mouth"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I usually wake up like that,
and
but
when I
not in
drink-
the middle of the night.
When I drink water, it's like I like feel like
Yeah.
I'm drinking like a whole bottle at night, every night. Like I'm waking up a few times at night, especially when I'm
You
like
guys need to
sleeping
check
with.
that.
Yeah.
Seriously, you got it. It's not
I should check.
normal.
Really?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not.
You're not
really.
supposed to get up in the night, and especially
I
not.
think
a couple
I don't
of
know.
times
Maybe it's
anymore.
just my thought, but where I'm like turning on the air conditioning, so it's drying me up.
It could be. It could be. You might just sleep with your mouth open. It's very
Probably,
common.
yeah.
So it keeps your mouth. It like dehydrates your mouth a little bit. It's like a. Sometimes it. I would say it like that. Dry mouth is one of the symptoms of dehydration. It's very, very common. It's like the first stages of dehydration. But I think if you get up, I try to take everything into account right now to do a good good job with that. You get up once a night at least to go pee, right?
yeah.
And still you wake up with a dry mouth
Yeah.
in the middle of the night. It's not in the morning,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it's not working in my mind right now because the fact that you get up and you go to pee, it might be because of you drinking too much water before bed, but it could be something with your sugar levels, your glucose levels in the body. So
That makes sense.
your blood sugar is good.
I don't know, but I
You
like
should check
sugar.
it. You should check it.
Don't stress him out.
Yeah, because it's a good. I wouldn't diagnose you right now, but still, it's a very common if your blood sugar goes up in the middle of the night for you to go to pee. Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to do a blood test right after he's getting out of
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Kind of
you
stressed
too.
out now.
just make sure you're not sleeping with your mouth open. If you do, you can be.
I probably
you
do.
can calm.
I probably do. Yeah, I think so. At least I'm not snoring, but yeah, I do sleep
I
with
snore
my
as
mouth
well.
open.
So it's very
You snore
common.
as well.
Does that also mean
That's another problem.
I snore. Oh my god! Don't ask my wife. I snore.
All right.
Yeah.
So, next question. So, can you explain the role of proper hydration in achieving optimal nutrition and performance?
Yeah, so as I said, hydration is very broad, but it's key because let's focus on performance for a second, okay? When we say performance, we talk about usually muscle performance or mental performance. It usually goes together. When you're in competition, you're an athlete, and you need to be focused and still do something, a very difficult task, maybe running, swimming, lifting weights, and whatnot. So you do have to stay focused because there's technique involved. Still, you gotta be very, you gotta be strong. You gotta do the biochemical processes in your muscle to produce the ATP, the energy. You gotta be able to take out the lactate that builds up in your muscle to be able to perform again. You gotta be able to replenish the nutrients in your muscle cells, in your brain cells, everywhere. You gotta do that, and you gotta do it quickly when you're in a very high performance task right now. And the way you do that is with water. Water is, as you know, our body is consisted of at least 60 to 70% water. Depends on your muscle mass and everything. People with a higher muscle mass has more water because muscle contains a lot of water. And the fact is, water is the medium in chemistry to perform reactions between molecules. And you got to perform these reactions to be able to move your muscles, to be able to replenish your muscles, to be able to pump blood and oxygen to your tissues, and not to talk about even the water that you have in your blood vessels, the plasma, which is mostly water and other nutrients. maybe a little bit of fats, maybe a little bit of sugars, but you have so many things that you have to transport and evacuate. Evacuate is not a good word. You have to clean from your body after a very intense activity. Okay, and you have to have water to do that. So once you are a little bit dehydrated, the performance decline is very significant.
All right. I think we should go on to our traditional question because.
Oh
we
yeah,
don't have
that's a question we never tell our guests we're gonna ask. Yeah,
right.
it's not there. So we call it water stories. So basically, I want you to tell us a story about yourself that has something to do with water, hydration, dehydration. I hope not. So go ahead. The stage is yours.
All right. The one that pops to my mind right now, that comes to my mind, is a story. It's not very long ago. I had a client, a young kid who was like 16. He was supposed to get to be. He was scheduled to. He's an athlete. He was scheduled to be in a contest, judo contest in Europe. I don't remember the country, but he was supposed to have to weigh before the event. It's like it's a weight category. It's a weight category. So he needed to be exactly 60 kilograms body weight. Okay. But the problem is, he came to me 2 months before the competition, which was very close, and he told me they have to lose a little bit of weight because it was 62, and he wouldn't make it the weight, so he will go up to the other category, which will be a disadvantage for him, as usual. So he asked me, how can I lose a little bit of weight but still retain as much muscle mass and perform as well in my competition? So the idea was to put him in a calorie deficit, a low one, and to keep tabs on his weight every day. And when he was only 60.8, 60.5 kilograms, he just needed to do initiated dehydration. Like it's intentional, not what we talk about usually.
Yeah.
People that get dehydrated.
You helped him out to do it like in a smart way that won't get him
Yeah,
hurt.
there's a protocol for sure. People do it all the time, and it's a very common in weight category sports, and even in bodybuilding when they want to show off their muscles.
Talking about exactly the same.
Lisa,
our first guest.
Lisa has her. I know Lisa, of course, and Lisa is amazing, and she has a personal experience for like she actually felt the feeling of being dehydrated before a competition.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she told you how much it can hurt her focus, her drive, everything.
the performance.
Yeah, they have to be dehydrated for at least they lose about a kilogram, so which is a liter of just liquids, of body fluids,
Which is a lot.
Yeah, it is. And you have to. So I gave him the instructions. I was on the phone every day, a couple of hours before the weigh-in. He was supposed to. I was on the phone with him before he needed to weigh himself before a night before the competition, and he was 59.8, which was great. Okay, it's close as we can get. And the next morning he weighed 60.9. And he didn't eat anything. He just drank. Okay, so he replenished his liquid, he replenished his water, and he was not dehydrated for the competition. It was okay. Like you can deviate 5% after the weigh-in because they know they're going to be dehydrated, so it's not optimal. But yeah, his performance was great because he was not too dehydrated. So we need to pay attention to that as well. Yeah.
Well, actually, a thing we forgot to ask, and I must mention, is that Jordan is a dedicated Water.io user for a long time. He has been with us for a long time. He has a journey with us. So I wanted to ask you a bit about the product. What do you think about it, and how did you find it helpful?
Yeah. So, like I told you before the podcast, I don't have any problems recommending the products I actually believe in, which this one is. I actually believe in this product. I recommend to my clients, especially the ones that has really difficult drinking in the day, and it actually helps, and it makes sense that it helps. It's like so simple yet so smart. I'm not just saying, of course, I'm actually honest about that, because I wouldn't use a product, especially not a water bottle that I can keep replacing every 2 months because it stinks. It creates bacteria inside. I don't know. I do everything that I can keep it clean, but it's not working. This one, it's pretty easy to maintain. I know you have some sort of technology and the coating inside.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. That's great. I do care about the technology in this water bottle cap, because I feel like the notifications are actually pretty nice. They're not overwhelming. I actually used it today when I lecture. I like 4 hours 4 hours straight lecturing, talking. My mouth keeps drying out, and my vocal cords are drying out, so I start to sound like that. This water bottle prevents that, because when I teach, I don't think about drinking water. I think about the class that I'm teaching. And every time this, blinks or vibrates, I do it only with the lights, because when it vibrates, it disturbs the students. But it actually helps me to drink between sentences. So it helps me maintain my voice, which is insane.
Amazing. Do you get students asking you, what is that glowing stuff?
Yeah, at first when it was vibrated as well, it actually disturbed my teaching, but it was a good turning point to say that this is actually a good product, and people kept coming after the lesson, because I wanted to not be so, this lesson is sponsored by whatever, because it wasn't. But the idea is like the people keep coming and asking me, what the hell is this? What is this water bottle? It seems so normal from way back, but now I see that it's different. And what does it do? And everyone in my family asked me if they can purchase one of those. Yeah, I'm serious. My wife uses it, and I think that she likes the white one. The thing that I was most impressed about this product is the idea that it can sync with the app, but not the synchronization with the app. The ability for it to add the water that you need to drink if you are in a moist or very hot environment, which is not typical. I, as a nutritionist, don't take it into account, which is very problematic, because there's no good way to know how much water should you add to your daily intake when you're in a very hot climate like we have right now. Yeah. So that's something that I really like. So I actually recommend to my clients to enable the location service on this app, because it actually makes a difference.
Cool.
Now I'm going to drink something.
That's great.
Wow. After those warm words, unfortunately, we are out of time, so we have to finish. Jordan, where can listeners find your social media?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. You just need to type Jordan Ovadia, or Jordan RD, which is registered dietitian, and you'll find me. I make all sorts of content regarding everything nutrition, nutrition, wellness, recent studies that have been published. Cool stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about Water.io, hop on our website, water.io. You can learn all about us, all about the product. It was great to have you, Jordan. Thank you so much.
It was
Thank
amazing.
you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Interesting and educating. And I hope listeners learned, first and foremost, not to trust every online influencer.
Not even us.
Unless it's Jordan Ovadia.
Not even us. Not even us as well.
Fact check everything.
Yeah.
Fact check everything.
Don't just buy the bottle. Check what you
do the job for yourself. It's your own health.
Yeah. So we'll see you in the next episode.